Stellenbosch becomes a very, very fashionable trend. I mean, not only in South Africa, but overseas, people are identifying the Cabernet Sauvignon from Stellenbosch as probably equal, not in style, but in quality, to the best from California and the best from France. In the art of Stellenbosch, DeTrafford has been producing Cabernet Sauvignon to the highest standard, and now we are tasting his Cabernet Sauvignon 2017. What do we have in the glass, Kathy?
A very dark colour, hinting at Bordeaux grape varieties or Tannat, maybe Malbec. Well, it is a Bordeaux variety, hey?
It is.
Initially, some tomato leaf character, which has blown off now, and it's just showing a lot of cassis and cedar, something you don't often get because it usually comes more as a tertiary aromatic, but this is starting to show on this wine. There's lots of cassis, as I mentioned, other black fruits, and a slight, can I say, spiritus lift. I think we have to point out that this is 15% alcohol. So
very right.
Not a baby.
No, not a baby.
Not a baby. But gee whiskers, that fruit is really opening up now, and it's very inviting, that mixture of cassis, topped a little bit with cedar and other black fruit.
I find the cedar, and I find almost like this, a touch of this waxy, you know, the cedar wood and a touch of wax on it.
Antique furniture wax.
Yes.
Okay, yes, I'm with you. You know, that used to be beeswax, so it can
beeswax,
be,
yeah.
It can be usually quite faint. So on the palate, this is very sternly structured, which, as we know, serious Cabernet Sauvignon is supposed to be.
Wow, that's serious.
That is very serious and very stern. You've really got fine tannins, but they're certainly very present. They're very grippy, and they're building a wonderful structure that the fruit can hang off and hide inside and fill out. It's certainly needing time. And then I think you may find that the acidity as well is contributing to the structure in the wine, and that also needs time to integrate. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying it's an unbalanced wine now. It is very balanced. And that's something that we should all remember, is that a wine that is unbalanced in youth is not going to age into a balanced wine. That's not what aging does. The wine has to be balanced before it goes into the bottle so that it can better integrate and present a greater sum of its parts than just allowing one factor to fall away.
But on this wine, it's almost like a toddler, because it's 2017, so it's still like 4 years from the harvest. This is so packed with power, and yes, the acidity is here, but the palate weight is so intense that the acidity becomes almost secondary in the tasting. And it's not that the wine is overripe, and it's a ripe wine, but clearly it integrates the acidity, it integrates the tannins, and yes, the tannins edges are still a bit rough, but it's probably because there was so much tannins at the very beginning that yes, the rest will mature in the bottle and polish itself over years. Maybe not the wine you want to finish now, but definitely one wine that you want to keep in your cellar for further aging, because that's power packed in a bottle. So, and also the acidity, as I said, is restrained, is here. The wine will not collapse. There's this fresh line that's from the moment you put it on your palate until 10, 15 seconds later, still making your palate salivating, showing that tannins and freshness are here, and that will support the wine. I should not say almost indestructible at this stage, but I don't see what could damage a wine like that. You know, you can put it in the middle of the sun. No, I should not say that. That's
no
bad.
ways.
But yeah, it's incredibly potent. And what makes you feel? It's clearly Cabernet Sauvignon. It might, you know, if you don't know what you would have, you might think, could it be Tannat? I think the tannins are clearly Cabernet Sauvignon. Tannat would be far too rustic compared to that.
Tannat would have far more rustic tannins, and I don't think tonight would be this perfumed for me, because
yeah,
it's now, the perfume is now opening and coming to the fore. It's a classically styled Cabernet Sauvignon with really strong tannins, firm acidity, and plenty of fruit, all the components you need for lengthy aging. And it's really quite elegant in its own way. The alcohol is actually not noticeable for me on the palate.
No, it was on the first sniff, but
now,
it quickly integrated when the fruit start to blossom with a bit of air. Then suddenly the fruit is, you know, hiding any sense of alcohol and is really omnipresent in all the dimension of the wine at its stage. A wine to keep, a wine to drink and enjoy, a wine to identify, not the most difficult one, because it clearly screams, "I'm Cabernet, please take me." But it's, yeah, it's power in the bottle. Enjoy, drink it, store it, share it, because wine is made to be shared. Thank you.
Cheers.